think that was the thing from the microphone. I think it's better now. Can we all hear me? Can we all hear me? Okay. I think it's better now. It's stable now. It's great to have you all on board. And I want to apologize for the delay. This class is actually for 5 p.m. You can imagine it's just taking place by 6:12. It's a lot of things back and forth with the service providers and a lot of things, technical issues. But like I usually say, irrespective of whatever it is that we might come across, come in contact with, we'll always find a way around making the situation, all right, work in our favor. So we apologize for starting this late because it's not usually like this. So without further ado, let's go into this class. We are starting with the course, all right. This is our first class for this department, Department of Mass Communication 300 level. And we're starting with the course MAC341, which has a lot to do about communication, all right. So our very first, all right, class today, we are talking about, all right, communication system. We're going to be looking at communication from different perspectives, communication from different angles. Now, one thing I want you to understand in this course, all right, as far as this course and level is concerned, that you as a student in this department level and semester, 300 level first semester, you are expected, all right, to broaden your knowledge, all right, to broaden your creativity and intuition. Now, what am I trying to say here? Unlike 100 level first and second semester, all right, 20 level first and second semester, whereby your exams are more like the close-ended kind of exam, 300 level and above is when you begin to experience pen on paper, whereby you need to, all right, express yourself, answer your questions, all right, and answer, all right, in written format. So therefore, it's no longer garbage in and garbage out like you have in your 100 level and 200 level. It's more like, all right, the open-ended short question whereby you get to express yourself. So you have to have the basic understanding of each course. Now, as far as this course is concerned, it has to do with the all and sundry, all right, the all and sundry of communication. So we're going to be looking at communication from different angles, all right, from different view of communication from different scholars, all right, the elements and the likes. So to start with, let's go straight into what we have here today. Now, it says, all right, communication system. Please, I need you to pay detailed attention. I believe you all have your notes there, your writing material, because you need to submit your notes after the class. Very, very important. Now, submitting your notes after the class is just a proof that you are actually following and you were in the class. I don't like the way my camera is stationed. Just a moment. Okay. Aha. I think it's better this way. So now, like I said, we're going to be talking about communication system. Now, when we talk about communication system, I believe communication is not something new. It's, at this level, all right, it's something we have come across several times. All right, something we've come across several times. And when we talk about communication in a nutshell, it talks about the passing or the sending and the receiving. All right, all about sending and receiving. All right, and the feedback points. The reason why you are sending that communication, the reason why you are sending that information or data is because you want a feedback. You need a response. All right, the response could be an instruction to be carried out, all right, or an acknowledgement. So you need something, all right, you need a response from the receiver. All right, so that is basic, that is the all and sundry of communication in its basics. You send, received by the receiver, all right, and there's a feedback. All right, in between all this, then we talk about the medium, all right, we talk about using the correct or the signs so that the receiver can understand. All right, if you are sending information or an idea, or you are communicating with the receiver, and the person doesn't understand, or you are speaking above the person's head, you'll be surprised. All right, you should not be surprised that you are not getting any feedback. All right, because the person doesn't understand what you are communicating, and with that, communication is not effective. All right. So speaking about the communication system, I'm going to go detailed into what has been. Now, communication exists. All right. Talking about, there exist various kinds, all right, of definition for communication. All right. Looking at it from different disciplines. All right. Different discipline sees communication differently. All right. In as much as we are talking about communication as seamlessly simple as it might seem or sound to you, trust me, it is on another level with different discipline. Right? When we talk about discipline here, we're talking about professionals. All right, different professionals see communication as different thing. Now, let's take for example a photocopier. All right, may see communication as meaning different things from a marketer perspective. All right, like I said, different disciplines sees communication as different things. Just as we are being told now that a photocopier, all right, sees communication differently as a marketer. Now, similarly, a gospel preacher may think, all right, communication is something which is of course different from what a journalist, all right, may see it as. Now, there's no single definition of communication, all right. Different scholars see communication differently. There's no single, all right, definition for communication. Now, psychologists defines communication as the process by which an individual, all right, transmits stimuli, all right, to modify behavior. Now, I'm going to erase this. By now, we've been able to establish that different, all right, discipline professionals sees communication as different things. So now let's see what a psychologist, all right, sees communication as. All right, as far as the psychologist is concerned, psychologist sees communication as a process. Now, this process involves, all right, as far as a psychologist is concerned, the way he sees communication is totally different. He is saying that when you talk about communication, what I understand by communication is that it is a process. Note that by which an individual transmits, a process by which an individual does what? Transmits. Are we together? Transmits what we call stimuli. All right? Transmit stimuli. An individual transmits stimuli to modify. This stimuli here, it could be verbal stimuli. This stimuli here, all right, could be verbal, all right, or symbols or sign. Now, this transmitted stimuli, this transmit here, talking about transfer, all right, stimuli here, message, all right, but in their own terminology, it is stimuli, all right. What we see as transfer is transmit, according to a psychologist. Stimuli, which could be verbal or symbol, to modify the behavior of another individual. Look at how that goes. All right, to modify the behavior of another in Okay, I think we are live now. That was a thing from the service provider. I think we are live now, and the class can kick off. Okay. Now, as I was explaining, a psychologist, I want us to underline the keyword here. As far as a psychologist is concerned, a psychologist will tell you that, as much as I'm concerned, this is my perspective about the said topic. And when we talk about communication, you have the calling forth of stimulus for the purpose of modification. All right? Stimulus are being called forth for the purpose of modification. And if you have to look at this sincerely, when you say modification, we are saying call and response. When you say modification, we are saying a change, a response, a reaction. All right? A change, a response, a reaction based on, all right, based on a particular effect. All right? And what caused that effect, what commands such effect is the transmission of the stimuli. All right, what causes the modification is as a result of the transmission. Are we together? Are we on the same page? Okay, I think we are live here. It's a lot of back and forth this provider today, but like I usually say, we'll have to make the best out of it, nevertheless. All right, we have to make the best out of it, nevertheless. Okay, all right. Just trying to fix the camera there. Wonderful, wonderful. I think the camera is better now. It's well positioned now. Now, like I said, underline. All right. There's a. All right. There's an effect that leads to. Oh my goodness, who is this person? There's an effect that leads to the change. All right. Now, this is the message. The receiver. All right. No, this is the message. All right. We can refer to the stimulus as okay. We can refer to the stimulus as the receiver, and this is the feedback. All right. So what are we saying here? It's all this definition and all the points encapsulated in the fact that you are sending, somebody is receiving, and based on what the person has received, the person gives a feedback. Now let's take one more definition from another person, from another scholar. All right, and let's see what. Okay, let's see another definition. Let's take another definition. Okay. Now, it says here, that's for psychologists. Let's see what a sociologist has to say. Now, as far as a sociologist is concerned, a sociologist sees communication as the mechanism, okay? The mechanism through, okay, which human relation exists. All right? Sociologist. Sociologist. Okay? As far as the sociologist is concerned, sociologist sees communication as the mechanism. The mechanism through, okay, the mechanism through, all right, which human relations, through which human relations, are we together? Exists, and develop. You know, when we talk about sociologists now, sociologists are very, very intentional. They are very, very deliberate. They are particular about knowing how, all right, human beings living together behave towards each other, communicate, coexist, all right, and live together. Okay. So now, concerning the view of the sociologists, they are very intentional and particular about, all right, a thing. For human beings to live together, all right, means something exists. Communication, all right. Communication is what makes human beings live happily. Communication is also that thing that makes human beings conflict, all right. So, in as much as sociologists are concerned about the society at large, all right, they want to know, all right, they are intentional, they are particular about seeing a, a mechanism, okay, a mechanism through which, all right, that mechanism now can also be referred to as a system, a structure, all right, a body through which human relation, all right, human relating with one another. Definitely, there's no way animals communicate. Yes, even animals, they communicate, even plants, all living things do communicate. Audio is restored. Can we all hear me now? So, as you can see here, the sociologist sees communication, all right, has a mechanism, a structure, an organization, a body, all right, responsible for, all right, whereby human relations, all right, and existence, all right, and development is built upon, all right, in as much as they are concerned. Don't forget, sociologists are very intentional about the effective functioning of the society. They want to study the society, how it functions, how people live together without getting into trouble. All right, and all of these, according to them, they say it's based on communication. So, like I said, what we do on YouTube is more of 30%. The remaining 70% is restricted to our private class. For those of us who would love to become private class, all you need to do is just reach out to Tutor.io today on our official website, www.tutor.io.net. When you find the WhatsApp button on the top right hand corner, use that to send me a direct message. All right. So very quickly, let's move straight ahead to the elements of communication. All right. So we're able to talk about communication from different perspectives. So let's look at some of the elements. Okay. Let's look at some of the elements. Now, communication is a system that means it works through interrelated set of elements. Definitely. Every system has a subsystem. All right. You as human being, your body is made up of different parts. All right. Your body is your body because your hand is functioning, your leg is functioning, your ears, your heart, your nose, every part of your body makes your body. Every system has a subsystem. So if communication is a system, then it has interrelated set of elements. Elements, when we say interrelated, they are dependent on each other. Your hand can't say, I want to be separated from the body and make a body myself. No. Your hand, your leg, your eyes, your nose, everything makes your body. Mr. John, are you sure this is your class? Okay. So, very quickly, communication. Mr. John. Okay. The element of communication. So, speaking of which, to start with, we have stimulus. Stimulus. To start with, stimulus. Now, when we say stimulus, what are we referring to? Stimulus is the impulse. All right? The impulse that triggers. Impulse that triggers off the communication exchange. All right? Impulse that triggers the communication exchange. Now, definitely, when we talk about communication, there must be a thing, all right, that triggers, all right? There must be a thing that propels. Now, when we talk about trigger, all right, we are talking about a strong desire, okay? We are talking about a strong desire. All right? It could be an incitement, a strong desire. It could be the zeal. All right? But that thing that enables, that thing that makes you feel like, okay, I want to say something, is within you, is a stimuli, and is within you. So before you want to communicate to anybody, there must be a stimuli there must be a stimuli in you that, all right, a stimuli you must have ignited, all right, that process of wanting to communicate. So now, one of the elements of communication is stimulus, and this stimulus is referred to as the ideation stage. Ideation, where the idea comes. All right, before you want to communicate, there must be a purpose, there must be something, there must be a message you want to send. All right, it's called the ideation stage. That's the stimuli, the stimulus. All right, as we have it. So now, this is where you have the idea. All right, the stimulus is this impulse that triggers the communication exchange. It's where you have, it's where you develop the idea. And we also have source. This is the person who begins the communication process. All right. So we can call this person the encoder. Encoder. The person that started. All right. The person that kick-started the communication process. Then we also have the message. All right. Like I said, there must always be a message to send. Communication has a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. All right. There must be a message. There must be a medium. Number 4. All right. There must be a receiver. You cannot just send message to the air. There must be somebody you are directing your message to. That's number 5, the receiver. And number 6, most importantly, there must be a feedback, an acknowledgement. Yes, I understand your message. Carry out the instruction and give back. All right. There must be a feedback. And we also have the last one, noise. All right. So one thing you must also watch out for during the communication process. Noise is not necessarily that physical, it's not necessarily that sound, that disturbing sound. Noise is anything that distracts communication process. All right. Note that any interferes that distract the communication process is seen as noise. All right. And it says here that it may be in different forms. Now let's take this. Noise is the interference that keeps away message from being understood. All right. So noise may be in different forms. To start with, we have the physical noise.
It comes from environments, all right? That's the physical noise. We also have the psychological noise that comes within, all right, the receiver. When you speak above the person's head, it could be stress, it could be depression. And we have physiological noise, psychological, physiological. Now, physiological now is the one from interference from the body. All right, maybe the point, and as when you are sending the message, the person is in distress, the person is hungry. All right, the person is hungry, the person is feeling tired, the person is not comfortable. We also have linguistic noise. This noise is from the source. All right, linguistic language, all right, linguistic language. When you choose a different sign, the sign that the receiver cannot understand or comprehend, the person will not get it. That is linguistic noise. So we have that as that. So we are going to call it wrap here for. So from our next class, we'll talk about the process of communication. All right. So you must understand that communication process is dynamic. All right. It is continuous and it is ongoing. So there are different processes to communication. So we'll take it up from there to our next class. So I'm just going to highlight that very quickly. And from there, because I need to prepare for the next class now. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe we have been able to gain something in today's class. Please, for those of us who haven't submitted our notes, this is our first class. We are expected to submit your notes. All right. Miss Lesson, please ensure to submit your note after this class. Send it to your private class. Use your phone to take a picture of the note and send it as a proof that yes, you are in class. You have a wonderful evening and bye for now.